The orange cat stood on a high ladder, cleaning the big windows of a rich house. The sun was hot and his paws were tired. He moved slowly, wiping the glass. "This job is so boring," he thought. "Every day is the same, just dirty windows and soap." He wiped one window carefully, looking at his own tired reflection. Then he suddenly stopped. Something caught his eye inside the house. He blinked and looked again. His paw stayed in the air, frozen in place. Behind the glass, a grey cat was playing a shiny black piano. Her paws moved like they were dancing. The music was soft and beautiful. It filled the room with magic. The orange cat stood still, listening and watching. He pressed his paw to the cold glass, completely still. The music touched something deep in his heart. "I've never heard anything so beautiful," he thought. His eyes stayed on the piano, full of wonder. The grey cat looked up and noticed him. Her paws stopped and the music stopped with them. She tilted her head slightly, surprised but calm. Their eyes met through the window. The orange cat blushed. His face turned red and his ears burned. He quickly looked away, embarrassed. "I shouldn't be dreaming," he told himself. "Music isn't for cats like me." He started to wipe the glass faster. His heart was still beating quickly. "I need to focus on my job," he thought. "I shouldn't stare. I don't belong in that world." But the music stayed in his head. The next morning, he came back to the house with his bucket and mop. He tried to ignore his feelings from yesterday. "Just clean and go," he told himself. But something was waiting for him. When he reached the window, he saw a small piece of paper on the windowsill. He looked around, confused. Carefully, he picked it up with his paw. His heart began to beat faster. The note said, "Do you want to learn to play?" Underneath was an address to a music school. He read it again and again. Was this for him? He wasn't sure, but he felt something light up inside him. He held the note tightly. His paws were shaking, but he was smiling. "Maybe I can try," he thought. "Maybe it's not impossible." He made a decision in that moment. He would go. He stood outside the music school, staring at the big doors. His paws were sweating and his tail was low. "What if they laugh at me?" he wondered. But he took a deep breath and stepped inside. He wanted to believe in himself. He walked to the front desk and looked at the cat behind it. "I want to learn piano," he said quietly. The cat smiled gently, but looked a little sad. She opened her mouth to speak. "I'm sorry," she said kindly. "Lessons cost money." Her words felt heavy. The orange cat's smile slowly disappeared. He looked down, feeling cold inside. "I don't have any money," he whispered. His voice was small. He felt embarrassed. The dream was slipping away again. It hurt more than he thought it would. He left the building slowly, his head low. His paws felt heavy and his chest was tight. He didn't want to give up, but what could he do? The streets felt darker than before. His dream was already fading. He walked down the quiet road. The streetlights started to glow. his tail dragged behind him. I almost believed in something, he thought. Now all he had was sadness. He returned to his small home. Behind the house was an old shed. Inside was a dusty, broken piano. He had never touched it before. Now he looked at it differently. He slowly opened the piano's lid. Dust flew into the air. He pressed one key carefully. A sharp, ugly sound came out. He winced and stepped back. "That's terrible," he said out loud. But something inside him said, "Try again." He sat down in front of the piano. "Let's see if I can fix you," he said softly. He cleaned the keys. He tightened old screws. He moved wires and wiped off the dust. The piano began to look alive again. It still wasn't perfect, but it was his now. He opened his phone and searched for free piano lessons. He found some videos and started to watch. He paused often, trying to copy what he saw. It was hard, but he kept going. He played a few simple notes. His paws were shaking. Some notes sounded okay, but most were wrong. He sighed loudly. "I'm not good at this," he said. In frustration, he hit the keys with his paw. "Why can't I do it?" he shouted. He wanted to cry, but then he stopped. He remembered the music through the window. He stood up, breathed in deeply, and sat back down. "I'm not giving up," he said. His eyes were full of fire now. He put his paws on the keys again, this time with hope. That night, he stayed in the shed for hours. He played until his paws hurt. Slowly, he played a small melody. It was quiet and soft, and it was real music. He smiled for the first time in days. The melody wasn't perfect, but it made him feel alive. "I can do this," he whispered. The stars outside seemed to shine just for him. 2 years later, he stood behind the curtain of a concert hall. He wore a clean black suit and shiny shoes. The room was full of cats waiting for him to come out. His paws shook, but his heart was strong. He took a deep breath. "This is my moment," he told himself. He stepped onto the stage. The lights were bright and warm. He looked out at the crowd, then walked to the piano. It was beautiful, black, polished and waiting. He sat down and looked at the keys. His dream was finally real. He placed his paws on the keys. Then he played the first note, then another. The music flowed like a river. He didn't think about the crowd anymore. He was inside the music, and the music was inside him. The audience listened in perfect silence. Every note touched their hearts. The orange cat played with joy and love. He remembered every long night, every tear, every try. And now he was flying. Not in the air, but in his soul. When he finished, the room stayed quiet for a second. Then the clapping started. Loud, happy, real. He stood and bowed, his eyes full of tears. It was the happiest moment of his life. Backstage, he took a deep breath and wiped his face. Then he heard a soft voice say, "You were amazing." He turned and saw the grey cat. She looked at him with warm eyes and a proud smile. She stepped closer "I knew you wouldn't give up," she said gently. He looked at her, surprised and touched. She had watched him all along. She believed in him, even when he didn't. He felt something warm grow in his chest. He didn't know what to say. Instead, he smiled and nodded. A tear rolled down his cheek. "Thank you," he whispered. The lights behind him faded, but inside him, everything was bright. His dream had wings now, and it was only the beginning.